90% of you are using Cursor all wrong, or you're too scared to get started. Here are 3 simple tips to getting started, plus stick around to the end for a sneak peek of an experimental beta feature they recently added. Trust me, you're gonna wanna bookmark this. Seriously, go ahead. And this is a bit of a long video, so get comfortable. It's gonna be worth your time. If you don't already know, Cursor is the most capable AI IDE in the market, but it also is the most intimidating. Here are 3 tips to make getting started super easy. First, you gotta define your requirements up front. Use a tool like ChatGPT or Claude. It makes it super easy. Give it any and all context you want, images, whatever, and let it know you're gonna be working with Cursor. Then save the file as a markdown file. This is just easier for Cursor to read. Then create a new folder. This is where you'll store all your files for your project. Then drop that requirements file into that new folder. This will give Cursor the overarching context it needs to build what you want. All right, now that we've saved the file, let's go into Cursor and open that folder. Come here and just say open project. Navigate to the folder you just created and click open. You'll see over here in the left-hand side, our requirements doc is right there. And now Cursor has the overarching context of what you want to build. Tip 2, let's bring AI to the party. If you come over here to the top right, this third little icon will open the AI pane. And by the way, there's 2 primary ways you can work with AI in Cursor. The first one is chat. Think of this like having an awesome assistant. You can ask questions about your code base to explain it or even write code for you, but you have to manually apply it. So this is great to use when you want to be very deliberate in terms of the changes you are making. Then there's Composer, which is way more powerful. It can write code, create files, run commands, and apply the changes for you like a human would. And it's probably the coolest innovation in the history of software development. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Now this part's important though. Come over to the Composer window, come to the bottom right and select Agent. This will enable the agent, which will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, especially in the beginning of your project. Tip 3, now that you're in agent mode within Composer, we need to add the context, which is your requirements doc we created in step 1. Simply come up here, hit add context, and just search your file that we have over here and add it. Now the first step I like to do is ask the agent to review the requirements and have it recommend how it should start approaching the project and in what order it should build the functionality. This does 2 things. It allows it to gain context for what we want to build, and it requires it to think thoughtfully about how we should approach building it and in what order. This will give you a nice plan to build your app. And then just hit submit. And if you agree with the plan, just have it start with step 1 and you're off and running. Pro tip, work in small increments when you're building with AI. This will introduce fewer bugs and you'll find a lot more success taking this approach. I mentioned I had a bonus tip. Cursor recently introduced an experimental feature called Bug Finder. It's over here to the right. Now I would reserve this feature for when you're getting really stuck or when you're putting finishing touches on your web app because the cost can be very high per run. There's a ton more you can do with Cursor, but this should get you started. Enjoy the rabbit hole. And PS, setting up authentication and your backend can be a pain in the butt in the beginning. Let me know in the comments if you want me to create a video showing you how to make that easy.